Welcome to e-Semplice, where music theory is simplified. This video is on simple time signatures, and we'll be looking at notes and rest grouping. What are the traits of simple time signatures? That is, some characteristics, some traits that when you see a time signature, you'll be able to tell that it is a simple time. 1. The main beats are single notes. 2. Each main beat divides into 2 sub-beats. 3. The top number of the time signature is 2 or 3 or 4. So anytime you see a time signature, you find 2 on top, 3 on top, 4 on top, it is a simple time signature. 4. The presence of triplets. If you look at a line or extract of music and you find triplets, that is a trait, and it signifies that that time signature is simple time. 5. There are no dotted rest in simple time. So if you are looking at an extract and you find a dotted rest, definitely it is not a simple time signature. What does note and rest grouping mean? Before we look at that, you can actually identify time signatures by simply observing the pattern of notes on the staff. What does it really mean? It refers to the arrangement of notes and rest within a time signature. You don't just throw notes and rest on the staff or in the bars. There has to be a pattern of arrangement of those notes and rest according to the time signature. So that's what we'll be considering in this video. And the grouping is done according to the beat pattern of the signature, e.g., crochet beat, middle beat, etc. What are the rules of grouping? 2 rules exist. 1. Complete each beat before dealing with the next beat. You'll soon see this in practice. The second rule, complete each part of the beat before dealing with the next part of the beat. Please note, always sketch the initial outlook of the time signature. Also note that you need to use beams for smaller notes, e.g. quavers, semi-quavers, demi-semi-quavers. In grouping quavers and semi-quavers, you need to use beams. Let's consider some simple time signatures. We have simple duples, simple triples, simple quadruples. Let's just go through the list. Actually, what we want to look at is the initial outlook of these time signatures. That's when you hear 2-4 time, the initial outlook is this. That's 2 crochet beats per bar. 2 means 2 minim beats per bar. 2-8 means 2 quiver beats per bar. 3-4 means 3 crochet beats per bar. 3-2 means 3 minim beats per bar. 3-8 means 3 quiver beats per bar. 4-4 time means 4 crochet beats per bar. 4-2, 4 minim beats per bar. 4-8, 4 quiver beats per bar. Let's continue. Let's take them one by one. Let's consider simple duples first and look at standard practice around simple duples. From simple duples, we'll take an ambassador from that group, and that ambassador is going to be 2-4 time. And the question is, group these notes correctly. A, 2-4, you are given 4 quivers. Then B, still 2-4 time, but given 8 semiquivers. How should these notes be grouped? Remember, always sketch the initial outlook of the time signature so you'll be able to follow the outlook. If you follow the outlook, you can never make a mistake in grouping notes and rest. So the initial outlook first of 2-4 time. You see it has beat 1 and beat 2. Remember the rules of grouping. Complete one beat before moving to the next beat. Rule 2 says complete each part of a beat before the next part of the beat. Now let's group correctly 2-4 time as standard practice with the notes given. Beat 1, beat 2. If you follow this process, you can never make a mistake. Now, beat 1 is a crochet. So group the quivers according to the beats. So that's your first beat. Remember, use beams for smaller notes like quavers, semiquavers, demi-semiquavers. Then beat 2. Let's group beat 2. As you can see, the beat pattern in 2-4 time are crochets. So you beam the notes as crochets. There is an exception to every rule. 2-4 time can also be beamed together. That you can beam 4 quavers together in 2/4 time. It is an exception to the rule where you have to balance each beat before the next beat. But this is standard practice. Either you beam 2/4 time, 2 quavers this way to form beat 1, 2 quavers the other way to form beat 2, or the 4 quavers can be beamed together, and it is standard practice. Let's look at B. 2/4 time. Remember, beat 1, beat 2. Finish the first beat before moving to the second beat. Now, how many of these notes can you beam together to form a crochet? Remember, the beat pattern here is in crochets. You beam 4 together, that will give you a crochet. Beam the other 4 together, you get another crochet. These are standard practices when dealing with simple duples. We are still on simple duples. Group these notes correctly. C. How are these notes to be grouped? Don't forget the initial outlook as your guide. You have beat 1, beat 2. Beam the notes, group the notes in crochets, because 2/4 is 2 crochet beats per bar. Beat 1, you have a quiver and 2 semi-quavers that will form a crochet. Beat 2, quiver and 2 semi-quavers, you get your beat 2. Now let's group this. Remember, beat 1, beat 2, follow the initial outlook. The first beat, that will give you a crochet. Second beat, that will give you another crochet. These are standard practices. Imbibe it. Still on simple duples, do's and don'ts. We'll concentrate on 2/4 as an ambassador of that group. That's the initial outlook. Never forget that. If you are given a bar of 2/4 time, and in the bar you only have semi-quiver, a semi-quiver, and you are asked to balance the rest of the bar with a rest, or with rest rather, how do you go about it? Remember the initial outlook, beat 1, beat 2. Now, we need to finish beat 1 before we move to beat 2. We have a semi-quiver as part of beat 1. So what do we need to balance it? Remember the second rule, finish one part of the beat before the second part. Now this is a semi-quiver and this is a crochet beat. What do I need? Because half of a quiver is, half of a crochet is a quiver. What do I need to balance the first half of the crochet? I'll be needing a semi-quiver rest, because a semi-quiver rest and a semi-quiver will form a quiver. Now I'll only be left with a quiver rest to balance beat 1. The total of that is a crochet. Beat 2 is simply a crochet rest. This is standard practice. Now, you look at this. Is this correct for 2/4 time? No, it is not. What is wrong with this? There is a dotted rest. Remember, never use dotted rest in simple time signatures. So the presence of this dotted crochet rest shows that the grouping is wrong. Now, take a look at this. Is this correct or wrong? Wrong. What about this? Is this correct or wrong? Wrong. Take a look at this. Is this correct or wrong? Compared to the initial outlook, is this correct or wrong? It's correct. Why is this correct? Because you can see clearly bit 1, bit 2. Take a look at this. Is this correct or wrong? Correct. Bit 1, bit 2. Is this correct or wrong? Correct. You can see clearly bit 1 and bit 2. Let's proceed. Now we come to simple triples. Let's look at some standard practices around dealing with simple triple time. Let's work with 2 ambassadors in this group. We'll look at 3/4 time, that's the initial outlook, and 3/8 time. Now group these notes correctly under these 2 time signatures. Is this correct or wrong? Compare it to the initial outlook in 3/4 time. Is this right or wrong? Wrong. What is the correct thing? This is correct for the notes given. Why? You can see bit 1, bit 2, the dot and the quiver forms bit 2, then bit 3. Let's group these same notes for 3/8 time. This is correct. Supposed to have 3 quivers in each bar. Still on simple triples, group these notes correctly. The initial outlook, never lose sight of that because that's your guide. 3/4 time, bit 1, bit 2, bit 3. That's bit 1, bit 2, bit 3. That's correct. Standard practice. And just like in 2/4 time, there is an exception too. In 3/4 time, 6 quavers can be beamed together. So that's correct. Let's group the 6 quavers under 3/8 time and see what it would look like. The first 3 quavers beamed, a bar line, the next 3 beamed, and that is correct. We are looking at simple quadruples now, standard practices around the grouping of notes and rest. And we'll take an ambassador in that group 4/4 time. Group these notes correctly. Now you are given 8 quavers. How do you group 8 quavers in 4/4 time? Take a look at this grouping. Is this right or wrong? Compare it with the initial outlook of 4/4 time. Is this right or wrong? This is wrong. Why is it wrong? The middle of the bar is blocked by a beam. What is the correct grouping? Is this right or wrong? Of course, it is wrong. Why? The middle of the bar is blocked. What is the correct grouping? You can see here, the middle of the bar is not blocked. So in 4/4 time, quavers are grouped in 4s, but nothing should block the middle of the bar, separating the bar into 2 crochets on one side, 2 crochets on the other side. Please take note, as many students make this mistake in exams. We are still on simple quadruples. Group these notes correctly. Now take a look at that grouping. Is this right or wrong? Wrong. The middle of the bar is blocked by a beam. This is the correct way to beam it. A crochet and 2 beamed quavers one way. The middle of the bar is open. Then beat 3 and 4. This is standard practice. Complete the asterisk correctly with rests. You are given a quiver first. Now, is this grouping right or wrong? It is wrong. One thing is glaring. Remember, never use a dotted rest in simple time. So the presence of that dotted crochet rest is wrong. That is also wrong. This is the correct way. Bit 1, balance bit 1 first with a quiver rest. Bit 2, crochet rest. Bit 3, crochet rest. Bit 4, quiver rest and quiver note. This is standard practice. Remember the rules. Rule 1. Complete one beat before the next. Rule 2. Complete each part of a beat before the next. If you follow these two rules and always sketching the initial outlook of the time signature you are working with, you can never make a mistake. The middle of the bar is not blocked. Take note. Best of luck in your examination. For notification when new videos are posted, kindly subscribe to e-Semplice YouTube channel and hit the notification button. Many thanks for watching.